Hello, my seismic sweeties. Today we are reviewing Disaster Report 4, Summer Memories. This game comes to us from developers Granzella Inc. and publisher NIS America. Disaster Report 4 is a single-player action-adventure survival game in which you find yourself in a city that is foreign to you during a cataclysmic earthquake. I am reviewing this game on the PS4. However, a little fun fact, this game was actually supposed to come out for the PS3 in about 2011, but an actual earthquake occurred in 2011, which led them to believe that maybe it wasn't the best time to release the game, and then it was officially canceled on March 14th of 2011. Then in 2014, Granzella acquired the intellectual property for this game, and they started development for Disaster Report 4 on the PS4. The game was released in 2018 in Japan, and finally, we're getting it here in April of 2020. So how do you make an earthquake fun? Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be fun exactly, but what you are essentially doing is making a series of choices and then navigating your character, which you decide the gender of and the name of at the beginning of the game, around this gradually disintegrating landscape. The gameplay is punctuated by constantly occurring earthquake and aftershocks that seem to kind of stop you in your tracks every once in a while. You have to duck or hide in a building to avoid getting killed, and you can die in a myriad of different ways. I was crushed by buildings, there was a bridge coming down, I fell into the ocean, huge variety of ways to die. But while you're not dying, you do have to make a number of moral choices that add or take away from morality points that you rack up during the gameplay. I am definitely a goody two-shoes because I can't, in good faith, choose the bad answers to these choices. We all know what the bad answers are, right?
Timo.
私たちをどうするつもりよ?
In addition to having control over your character's overall morality, you can also dress her up in various outfits, or him, so that you can find different items of clothing along the way. You can also acquire items of clothing that will help you in your lies or in your overall mission. For example, there is one scene where you need to change into a convenience store clerk uniform so that you can assist customers for the real convenience store clerk who is hiding in the back terrified. You then have the choice, once you acquire money from customers, whether you put it in the register or keep it for yourself. I put it back in the register because I'm a good egg. But these are the kind of choices you'll find often throughout the game. Every once in a while there will be a choice where you have to make the less moral decision to actually advance the game and the plot, but it's pretty clear in those instances what you have to do. You do really have to keep track of the overall well-being of your character because you need to make sure that she is fed, she is watered, she has used the restroom. That's right, you have to use the restroom in this game. You have an indicator that tells you whether you have no need, an immediate need, a moderate need to use the restroom. And let me tell you, there's a lot of bathrooms in this game. I wish there were this many bathrooms in real life. You can even use the urinal as a female in this game. Maybe she has one of those shiwis. If you look into the mirror in one of these bathrooms, you can also get a whole new hairstyle. You can get a haircut, you can add some extensions, you can change your hair color. But decisions and style options aside, the majority of gameplay here is about either saving yourself or saving those around you from the earthquake and aftermath. I myself chose to play by helping as many of those around me as I could. Just feels like the right thing to do, you know? Let's talk about graphics here for a moment. This game was originally meant for the PS3, and it definitely looks like it could have still been on the PS3. The graphics are not fantastic. And it could have just been that I was playing it on the PS4. This is going to be available on Steam as well, and that might be better if you're into the more technical aspects of the game. I suppose I should note I was playing on a PS4 Pro, so if you're just on a regular old PS4, there's probably no hope for you, and I'm sorry. While the frame rate tends to drop when there's more going on around you, sometimes it runs pretty well in scenes where there's not much but your character on the screen. Looks pretty alright. I also feel like this game is kind of embracing the fact that it's not the most modern and the best frame rate and the coolest graphics. They kind of just ran with it and made it a goofy experience in some ways, so I kind of appreciated that. While most of the game doesn't have a soundtrack going on in the background, there are some pretty sweet J-pop ballads that come up every once in a while, which are pretty gorgeous. There's also like some buskers, and for some reason they just have a guitar, but there's a full orchestra playing. It's amazing. I have to admit, I had a lot of fun with Disaster Report 4. I played for a number of hours and I could have just kept going. This game had everything that I look for in a game. It had moral choices, it had a cool soundtrack, it had ridiculous graphics where sometimes you disappear into another person, and most importantly, it had toilets galore. All joking aside, if you don't take this game too seriously, there's definitely a lot of fun to be had. If you're looking for a game with super high frame rate and awesome graphics that are going to blow your mind, this probably isn't the one for you. But if you're looking for something a little bit different from your average AAA game, then Disaster Report 4 definitely shakes things up a bit. For more information on Disaster Report 4 or any of the other games we've played, check us out at MediaMoogle.net, where we also have our podcasts like I Dream of Indie, or subscribe to us here on YouTube for more reviews, previews, and everything in between. Thanks for watching.